Hey guys, welcome back to FFT Fridays here on Dixie Belle's YouTube channel. I'm Lauren, the furniture flipping teacher. Today we are going to do a quick flip with this TV stand. I got it for $15 at a garage sale, and I thought that just with a little bit of cleaning up and an updating of the bottom color here, we can flip it for a pretty decent profit. I'm planning on keeping the wood natural color up here. As long as I can kind of buff up some of those scratches, it will look as good as new. First step, as always, is to go ahead and remove the hardware. I'm gonna be keeping this hardware, so I've got a little container to keep it in while I am fixing up the rest of the piece. So I've got my DeWalt drill here. It has a Phillips head, and that's just gonna help me remove the hardware a little bit quicker. If you don't have a drill and all you have is a screwdriver, that works just fine as well. But now the hardware is off, so we're ready to set that aside and clean up all of this. This was actually being used as a fish tank stand, so you can imagine there's a whole bunch of just different things down under here, and it's not the cleanest piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean with my Dixie Belle White Lightning Cleaner. This comes in a granule salt-like material, and then I just dissolved it into some water into my sprayer. That way I can make this bottle go on multiple projects. Whereas if you just take the White Lightning and put it into a bucket of water, you would have to get rid of that White Lightning. Well, I'm using the same amount in here, multiple projects, as I would with just one project in one bucket. Now, White Lightning is a degreaser and a deglosser. So I'm gonna avoid spraying the top, and I'll just rinse that with my rag because again, we're doing it as is. So I don't wanna go ahead and take any of the finish off of this. I just wanna rinse that down. But as far as the rest of it, I'm gonna be painting it, so it's okay if it kind of deglosses that a little bit. So now I am going to go ahead and clean this with my just plain old rinse water, and then I'll also rinse the White Lightning off of the surface of the bottom. All right, we're all clean. For today's flip, I'm gonna be using Dixie Belle's Silk All-in-One Mineral Paint in the color Hampton Olive. And I haven't used this color yet, but I've seen several other people use it, and I love the results that come with it. And so the directions on the silk paint is just to degloss with a light scuff sanding. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick scuff sand on the white with my hand sander right here. You don't have to have a fancy sander to do furniture flipping. You can just do hand sanding. It works just the same, just takes just a tad bit longer. So that's what I'm gonna be using today, just because there's not very many spots where I need to sand. And then once that sanding is finished, we'll go ahead and get on to some painting. And so basically all this is doing is it's roughing up the surface just to allow this paint to adhere that much more to the surface. Instead of just going on the top, it'll kind of be able to grab on. All right, scuff sanding's done. So I've got a damp microfiber cloth that I'm just gonna wipe back all of that sanding dust so that it doesn't get clumped into the paint. We're about ready to paint. I'm just gonna go ahead and lift up the TV stand with my painter's pyramids just to elevate it a tad bit so I can get down on those legs. For the silk paint, I'm gonna be using a couple different brushes, my Scarlet brush, and then the round small brush. And then I also have an artist brush just in case I need to get into the little details of the X. And I just want to be really careful around those corners to not get clumps and pools of paint. Also, this drawer isn't seeming to want to come out, so I'll just be painting it in, and then we'll also just be sure to get all of the spots around it that should also be painted. So we're gonna go ahead and pop open the paint. When you're using paint, you want to go ahead and make sure you stir it, not only shake it, but stir it, because a lot of the times it separates if it sits on the shelf for a while. And I've had this color for some time now, so you know, if you're seeing it do this clumpiness, it's normal. You just gotta stir it all back to all one consistency. All right, there we go. Got it all nice and mixed. So with the silk paint, remember it is an all-in-one paint. So you do not want to do any water with it because that will take away those qualities that it has. The only reason that you maybe put some water in the silk paint is if you were using it with a sprayer, and even then it's just a smidge of water. So we're gonna be using brushes, so we're not gonna use any mister or any water to thin it out. We're just gonna go ahead and put on some paint. The silk paint is a self-leveling paint, so you want to be careful not to overwork it too much so that it can maintain those qualities. So just a few strokes back and forth over each spot is all you need. All right, first coat with the Hampton Olive is all on there, so it's gonna dry for a little while. And the jar suggests 2 coats. Clearly I need a second coat, but even if yours maybe got full coverage the first time, it just suggests 2 for the most durable and the factory finish. Here we are back for coat number 2. This is all nice and dry, and as you can see, it really self-leveled. You can see the brush strokes just because it's such a light coat. You can't actually feel any brush stroke marks. So once it has full coverage, you won't even be able to tell that it is painted on. It'll just be like that factory finish I was talking about. So let's go ahead and do coat number 2, and then we'll let that dry and we'll be all finished after we reattach the hardware. So this is a quick flip. So right there is where we're gonna see that complete full coverage, and then that's what it's gonna look like across the whole thing. All right, coat number 2 is finished up, and then I did a little bit more over here for just a touch-up coat, and then once everything is dry, I will go back around once more and do any more touch-ups that need to happen. But basically we're finished, and I'm just gonna reattach the hardware, and we're gonna stage for some photos to post to sell on Facebook Marketplace. You guys, this finish is so sleek. I love the silk paint just solely for that reason, among other reasons, but oh my gosh, it's just so flat. There's no brush stroke marks. It's almost as if you're spraying it, but you're still using your brush, so I love it. If you guys haven't tried the silk paint, be sure to try that out. There's several colors and they're all amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and reattach the hardware now, and I've only got 2 pieces here. I just wiped them up a little bit and we're almost done. Ready to stage and take photos. We are finished. And I like this color a lot because it's got green hues, but yet it's kind of got gray hues as well. So I'm loving it because it's still basically a neutral color. It's not too green, but I really think that it complements the brown on the top really well as also. So let's go ahead and stage. All right, so I just went ahead and staged it a little bit. It is a TV stand, but I truly didn't feel like bringing a huge TV out here, but I'll list it as a TV stand. It could honestly also be used as just maybe like a little entryway table, a shorter one, or something like that. People can use things for whatever they want. So I just decorated it a tad bit, put a little greenery, but wow, that green just kind of, I don't know, I feel like it just upped the value of it and the look of it. It kind of went from like a farmhouse to a more modern style, in my opinion. So it's still got the great lines, and I think that it'll sell pretty fast. I'm going to be listing it around $150. We'll see. Again, I say this a lot, but I always just kind of decide the moment that I have to type in the price. I just decide, and sometimes I decide to go a little bit higher. Sometimes I decide to go a little bit lower. So we're thinking around the 150 range for this piece. Yeah, so we're just gonna take some quick photos, post it on Facebook Marketplace, and I'll let you know what happens. All right, we've still got my TV stand here. I have confidence that it's gonna be selling here in the next couple of days. It's only been on Facebook Marketplace for a few days now. I've got it listed at $150. So let's cross our fingers that it's gonna get out of here soon. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and you maybe got a little bit of some knowledge on how simple flipping furniture can be. This was just a cream base before, and then now it's this beautiful Hampton olive color, and I feel like it just made it that much more elegant, and it just upped the value just because of that different color down here, and turning this TV stand from a $15 TV stand to $150 with just 2 coats of paint, because that silk paint didn't need a top coat. So it even cut the time even more in half. So I hope I inspired you guys to maybe look around your house, see what can be updated without even having to buy a new piece of furniture. Putting a little bit of paint on the furniture in your home can revamp your furniture in your own space as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching over here on Dixie Belle's channel. As always, get subscribed down below, but also get subscribed over on Furniture Flipping Teacher. We would love to have you a part of our community over there as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side.